Hi, this is Linda Carpenter with the MRG team at Cbshome Real Estate in Omaha, Nebraska. Today we have Scott with us to talk to us a little bit about the new lending changes that'll be taking place here in October. Scott, why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about yourself?
My name is Scott Vogt. I am the president of Nebraska Land Title and Abstract, our title company here at Cbshome, and I'm also the general counsel for Cbshome.
A little bit about what is happening to the lending changes here in October that the government is implementing.
One of the big things that we're having is kind of a change in forms. We've always been comfortable using something called the HUD-1, and the HUD-1 is changing into a form called the Closing Disclosure Statement. The Closing Disclosure Statement requires some timeline issues that we've not come across before, where we will now have to get out information to our lender, or our lender is going to have to get information out to our buyer, their borrower, about 3 days before the closing. And it's going to require a lot of work from everyone, from the title company to the lender, to the real estate agents working on the transaction, to get the information needed to be on this closing disclosure form several days in advance, as opposed to how we kind of work now, where we're closing things with information hours before. That appears that is not going to work any longer, because there are some stiff penalties related to not doing this in the proper form going forward.
Great. And will this affect all loan types, VA, conventional, FHA?
Almost every loan that we're going to see is going to be affected by this.
What would a consumer or a buyer need to know when they're searching for a mortgage company?
We believe firmly that local is going to be important. You're going to want to go with a bank that has a local presence, operates within the Omaha market, or the Lincoln market for that matter, that know how we do things, because Nebraska is different from any other state, and Omaha is different from different cities on how we close transactions. And if we're dealing with an out-of-state lender who has no presence here, it's going to be difficult for them to know how we do things here, and with them not knowing that, it could cause huge delays in closings.
Okay, so it sounds like buyers really need to be on top of their mortgage selection process, but how would this also affect maybe a seller on the sell side?
If I was a seller, if I was trying to sell my house myself, I'd be very concerned. They don't know this, but it's going to be trouble. One of the things that is great for us is when we deal with real estate agents or Cbshome agents, they know what we need to get to closing, and they know how to get that information. They know how to set up the inspections. They know how to get the proper information that we need for a closing. If we're dealing with a seller who's not represented, it's going to be difficult, because they're not going to know what we need, and that is going to delay their closing, because until we get that information to that lender, and we have to get that information to that lender very early on in the process, or the way that this new form is going to work, it's going to kick closing 3 business days, which can turn into 5 business days, which can turn into 10 business days. And so I think we are very comfortable at the title company working when we have a Cbshome agent that we can rely upon to get us the information, because all we want to do is get it closed for everybody.
Right. So it sounds like for all consumers out there, sellers and buyers, proper representation, knowledge of the process, and working with local agents and title seems to be the most important items.
Absolutely. I think that's going to be paramount to get through this, because it's going to be a new world out there, and we don't know exactly how it's going to happen at this point. All we can do is prepare, and the best thing that we can do is know that the people we're working with have an understanding of what's going to happen, and do our best to make sure that we can implement this new process and get things closed so we're not delaying everyone.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us today, Scott.
Of course.
And thank you all for watching today. Again, if you know of anybody ready to buy or sell real estate, please reach out to the MRG Realty Group. You can call us at 402-680-7000 or email at info@mrgomaha.com.